孤独到给从眼中，耶稣呼咕噜跳。
But you were cho to nuna the page to tua gong wa gay da kalu tua jay la pe tua wa gay nhau to live stream la ku yai kha kom ho jong ku te yai kha wonderful opportunity at the ya pe tua chita wa gay la pe tua chinji ho live stream la ku yai kha wa jong kung gao li so what you were cho to lu share na and ta ka tun chu pli do hu shi ku ka chua ya ku khia te ku teach nu na ya ka de share to pe shida e ka pe kha to cha mo pe lu neng thia pa to pe cha ken jing thia pa to pe de sham chu pli e ku ta de non de Jerusalem be wa jong kung gao amen. So China was a hard year, same as 2020. And I know that maybe many of you have lost loved ones even last year, 2021. And, we're just praying and believing that Lu Hyong Chiana should you are Jesus and so we're praying for that. And I know it's been a kind of a rough start with the rise of COVID, but yet we should continue to hold on to our faith and continue to tawatu against COVID. And so for the next 21 days, we are doing the Daniel fast. And it's a partial fast. It's full fast. Li coffee, tea, day juice or fruit juice. So praying and fasting is not easy, but we need to do it. We need to discipline ourselves. And prayer and fasting is a spiritual discipline. We would like everyone's participation. Please consult with your doctor if you have any health issues. To Dr. Ta one day and consult the law and you'll put it or get your ma negate or tao and it watch it down a law daily yala social media Facebook digital or movie and so we do have people, we do have side effects, you you can get gassy. And so then again it's gonna just be about 3 or 4 days, and after that you should be fine. And Yanisa have more information. It's on our church Facebook page and also on our website at liccmn.org. Jesus talked about fasting all the time, and in Matthew chapter 6 verse 16 through 18 and nihai do tu hatia tone wa ki ya ma ne ge cho wali ke ning shepe wa ele cho zu wa jin zo mo jin ji bla hao le cho zu jiao lin de ga le tu de shade bao de le wa ki ya ma that is Jesus de to ne wa ki ya ma ji bla hao zo an jin mo da de tia right, take care of yourself e ga le tu cho bao de you wa ki ya ma. And Jesus de ya pe wali na na give out to your phone come on to pay. And even with Daniel fast, unless you have to, but other than that, unless they watch our sermons online or something, we try to keep it a secret and not share with so many people. The next 3 weeks, I'm preaching a sermon series called Spiritual Breakthrough. Spiritual Breakthrough. 贝鲁维当地呢，古有clear一个 sermon series，long 的和 sermon series 或者 spiritual breakthrough 或要有莫应，那是有改应的上主不灵呢。Okay, and so Nuno, today is week 1, and my topic today is spiritual breakthrough to receive revelation from God. Spiritual breakthrough to receive revelation from God. And we are going to be in the book of Daniel, verse 12 through 14. So Daniel chapter 10, verse 12 through 14. Daniel chonko, ngay ko o, zo, ko blow. And this is what it says. Then he said to me, do not fear, Daniel. For from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard. And I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to me, for I had been left alone there with the kings of Persia. Now I have come to make you understand what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision refers to many days yet to come. Nhớ đồ Daniel chung cầu ngay có also cầu plau mỗi tu tỷ chữ nửa chua Daniel nửa hai đồ Daniel hạt tiệt thơ nu và có cho hư chỉ thia có mua cái lu xiêm bùa đồ vật chữ ấy có thọ vật chữ thơ nu đó sự vật chữ từ nó có thể lu thọ了ấy giờ lên đó cụ thể là chưa có em ga khó và có mong và vật chữ有mua đồ con đó là đồ có但是古整这大金用心到许多手印难度大整大狗古能够一怒贴giờ lên đó mà cái yang我要tu thân的被叫地主你贴里老八股đó họ cụ tí lên cầu sư đó đa sinh đạo sư tua giờ lên đó cụ tí lên ngã họ tài có họ dễ mua có họ vision đó có 我要做个海宁好我要 happen đó个海宁都要被说古我们只有 background 的是 context Lucia 那要我到波 BC it was 605 BC when Daniel wrote this and Daniel is the author he is Daniel the prophet Daniel ya what you do gave what you lu and Daniel's age in chapter 10 he was probably 80 years old. Lucia or no Daniel Morlin the Yi. How do we know that? Because in chapter 1 that Cyrus, king of Persia, and so if you do the math, Daniel would be around 80 years old. The location is from Jerusalem to Babylon to Persia. And so Lucia wa le to nya to Jerusalem ke Babylon to mo le wa ke take Persia le tili ndao yin Nebuchadnezzar ke take Persia tili la ka take Lucia. And not only that, but Daniel was a eunuch. He was castrated, emasculated, and I'm pretty sure he did not want to volunteer for it, but they volunteer you. What comes to your mind when you hear the words spiritual breakthrough? Spiritual breakthrough means to advance, to discover, or it's a discovery. It's a step forward. It's a quantum leap. It's progress. It's a headway. So lalu spiritual breakthrough niya lalu hatia you mo ying na la shi you go ying la shi ya iya or you zai dao or you chi dao mo before the shanju play. 呀咿呀，我容易有到有木到一够做，老师就说一够做，一二倍够做，那。It's a quantum leap. Your progress, you know一个特色中有去做某个道理，但是要头有 more spiritual breakthrough，有 more 应中的上就不中的有做跟进的容易有给你给的，那是有给你 move 到 forward， 那是地到上的呢，那是地到上的呢到 ，and it's an amazing thing 要头有 more spiritual breakthrough. Chitanda spiritual breakthrough means having reached a new level of spirituality. As Christians, a spiritual breakthrough can be defined as a time when a person is saved, gains a deeper understanding of biblical truth, receives a revelation from God, an answer to prayer, or wins the victory over sin. The idea of a breakthrough suggests an ongoing struggle that finally peaks and finds resolution. Lalu spiritual breakthrough. Ya ilalu haitia yu yili lo lo tong de shanju pli tia yu yili mo ying tong de shanju pli. To be gen jing ne ge ya iya li to yu lan jing fa ju kana ya i spiritual breakthrough. E yu tong du king cheng yu tao ji yesu ya i jolly spiritual breakthrough. 那是头有个我就做路我就做路给你把有个有老多的上就不可能了不能要 spiritual breakthrough。天我有头我就个我就才一行不说了，才一行 vision 一行要懂得有了，但那不能要我就不能要一行 spiritual breakthrough 都有。那是还有头我就一个我就得有得路头不能要 spiritual breakthrough。就被学的，但是there有冇一個技巧，要講起英哩，但是頭我就，我就叫你把有冇英，要講英個技巧的，就要 spiritual breakthrough，要啲有冇英的上主 play，amen。第二個 spiritual breakthrough，老路 breakthrough，那麼有一個老路係啲，容易有人打心到，吸口，給容易有得不了，好路可了，也有應了 breakthrough，嘅要容易領的，覺得應是的是有到在考或有頭或者到有讀聽了是可以 pray for 的 ，so。看得要一個 meaning of spiritual breakthrough. Daniel experienced a major spiritual breakthrough. There are three things we can learn from Daniel's spiritual breakthrough. Daniel never gave up on God. Daniel 女應只做我就這頭路解我，女我嘅解有冇聽女頭我就。要到 Daniel 衝高嘅個哦。So then he said to me, do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. 到底覺得喺度 Daniel 嘅頭腦個錯教，這個錯好似個某個宣布話主，一個拖話主，個到在學個夢的，個 interpretation 的。Do angel na hai do Daniel de thâu nun de sư va cho tu nó ka te lu tho tha la. So what does it mean Daniel set his heart to understand? Pa de Daniel mon lu xiam bua to va chu. Tiam bua to va chu. The hanu kia shit to va chu nu completely wholeheartedly trusted in God. And Daniel never gave up on God. Daniel nu ji cho va chu che. Tuần đêm bộ lên tới nua cái chơi mà năng够一努了，女正多女做件真女正，头发就带女正，也是头发就带，你是做发就正，and 对在人家被一切被头发就一努二努，被我给chơi mà，一不是被对住了，一不是被路很要对里对起头发就了，and so Daniel never gave up on God. And because Daniel fasted and prayed until he received his spiritual breakthrough, which was at the end of 21 days, Daniel wa ke cha yo mo nang go I nu thổ nữ pi nu in đỡ cho kia nu nang go in đỡ nữ wa ke cha yo mo nữ kia shit đó va chữ nữ chỉ cho va chữ chê ya linh đỡ Daniel ya I tu nữ kia shit đó va chữ nữ thế li sai tao họ va chữ pu đồ nữ đã sang chữ plin nữ thế li more spiritual breakthrough nữ thế li more yang trong the sang chữ plin nếu bây giờ Anna the prophetess và ya tu widow nhớ trâu Luca trong o cái bây giờ trâu cho bây giờ gì Anna ya tu thầu nữ chỉ ya tu câu sư nữ yo nữ tu gì cái sự đó xa lưu song sư Anna tu gì xia cho nữ chơi tất cả and Anna wa tu widow wa tu panjua tông 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 lưu song但是你路线你莫是叫了逃吧就好吧就多chơi你逃和你逃差不多给一个吧就抓吧就他妈啥呀啦要领导你逃不领导路线的只有手提里有了我他妈啥呀好怕想到了你不领导的 Anna the prophetess 你这些的吧就你只 quit 你只我抓吧就chơi anh nữ tàu xe tháo vào chữ ok chơi yếm mỏ nên nữ tua tháo vào chữ tua chơi ok chơi yếm mỏ thiệt tháo vào chữ có tụi mà sai ăn đó lọ để gia đình ta tụi mà sai ăn thì để lọ được tiếc never give up on God especially when you need to pray and fast for a spiritual breakthrough cũng khai đó này để gia nên tháo vào chữ được tiếc nên ok chơi yếm mỏ được tiếc nên yêu tàu giả và nên chọn đó và chữ yên yo phòng có một chỗ này thì yêu yên yo mua yên trong đời sang chụp lịch trong đời yêu cho kinh doanh. The second thing we can learn from Daniel's spiritual breakthrough is that Daniel continued to pray and continued to talk to God. Ya ở bên cạnh trong đời khó, tôi đã Daniel thì mua yên đời sang chụp lịch. Đời khó Daniel thầu nữ wa cái chân yếm mong đã nương qua tháo vào chữ thế nương qua dialogue đó vào chữ Daniel just didn't fast but he prayed Daniel chỉ là tiệt wa cái chân yếm mong sự đã chỉ nương qua tháo vào chữ thế bây giờ how many of us ya tháo bây wa cái chân yếm mong ya bây wa cái chân yếm mong inu sự là chỉ all day 2-3 days đã chỉ bây chữ mong tháo vào chữ. And so when you fast, you have to communicate with God. That's what Daniel did. Daniel dialogue with God. In Daniel chapter 10, verse 12, Daniel chungko. Then he said to me, do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. Tu di chữ nó thì hai đôi Daniel để thơ nu và có một cái lúc xem bữa vào chữ thì có cho hơi chỉ ấy có thọ vào chữ nun đỡ sự vào chữ tu thọ cái tên lụt thọ là Daniel humbled himself to pray Daniel ya ít tu và ngồi thọ vào chữ nhà ít tu và cho hơi chỉ ấy thọ vào chữ muốn lúc xem bữa vào chữ Daniel knelt down to pray Daniel ya ít tu như cho cho he probably lay prostrate at times. He lowered himself to the ground, his body to the ground, his face to the ground at times. In Daniel chapter 6 verse 10, it says, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Lucia na cho văn dự mua ý cho thời chong thời lo lời chuyện nhà Daniel. And they made a decree to go against cho ổn định và xử lý Daniel. Yelling the thầu Daniel bao ni nó ni thêm một chế ni một tháo vào chữ ni một sao cho ni một tháo vào chữ inu no bejo. And so, kusanune there, when was the last time? Had there ne taught yo and ne tawaju, la shi wake jayomo. Bejo tawaju li denya. Tao yu tawaju zahuti. Ta rao la shi, ta la ta se, da shi de ka mu taught yo. Mu tawaju de ha yu tu vaju, ya tu chen keng chapla, chen keng duali, chua tu wanzu, de chua tu president. Vaju ya tu chi lundu, te lunde de, jinya be reverence nu, jinya be cha yo, e tawaju, okay. You know, I prayed and fasted for some of my family members, and got and my brother Michael was one of them. You know, Xiong Apa Bei, I began to pray and fast for my brother and my sister. And so, Xiong Apa Xia was the year that my brother got saved. And that was 5 years of praying and fasting. Sometimes it takes that long. And so, and when you fast, don't forget to pray and talk to God. The third thing we can learn from Daniel's spiritual breakthrough is that Daniel fasted during this whole time for 21 days. Ya bei wa bei ge dong de ha o Daniel, wa li ga Daniel ti li mo yin zhong de shang zhu bli. Ya ha Daniel wa ge jia yong mo nan go yi nun go. Chi mo yi zhou nyo de ha nan go yi nun de e ni chi wa la shi nun give up. Da shi nu wa ge jia yong mo tao nan go yi nun da. In Daniel chapter 10 verse 3, Daniel Daniel says, I ate no pleasant food, no meat or wine came into my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. Nửa tiệt tô năng go inun da nửa chỉ no, rau mò cay đảng cay là nửa chỉ no, hậu đê ca gì là đê chơi là nửa chỉ hậu. Prayer and fasting is sometimes the only way that you're going to get your spiritual breakthrough. Đào rau có thảo vào chữ, rong li có chỉ mua yên, tí ở tí rau có chỉ tàu, hoặc chỉ cái yếm mò. And so, prayer and fasting triggers the supernatural. Thảo bé hoặc cái yếm mò, thế bé thảo vào chữ này kì, nia ít khảo hoặc nị khi plot on the shan ju pli e bé thế li tàu vào chữ cho con mong thế, bé thế li mua yên trong the bé shan ju pli thế trong the bé cho kiến trình. It's like dialing 911. Only thổ một emergency and you who tam lua and you who chua y na. Thổ you chua y đợi cái tam lua thì oh your emergency cái lời tao tua chỉ chẳng. Thổ bé qua cái chẳng như mong thế bé thổ vào chữ này cái dòng lại bé who chua y tao vào chữ. Hào vào chữ thì vào chữ cũng một cái emergency nó cũng tông còn cái ba cũng ni cái ba. Thảo cái là ba cũng. It's like calling an emergency hotline, like she shooting a flare gun. Yo, you che tua ta te desert, like she got toe or morning, and she da po tua to shon tu ka ni wa flare ni wa lu tanki na ka tam lo po like she help po cái nên hoặc là tôi bao nhiêu po, hay là tôi po thì yêu nhau hợp tư, hoặc cái用毛的头发chữ你用领导。You know, Daniel was in such mourning, he lost all appetite. The Kha vision nu bond the order nu, một cái nhựa share order nu, một cái thơ sinh, cho nu hải ninh. Giờ lên đời nu thế li, nó mò chỉ cá lò. Nu thế li, chỉ hải lù, trong lên từ accept, đó vào chữ thả. Thế cho tỷ chữ thả. Tôi năng gấu ý nu chỉ nói ý cả. Nu chỉ hậu tê, để khá gì. Thou shall you sacrifice in order to get your spiritual breakthrough. Cũng khá ne de ya ne chỉ mua yên trong the shan chu pli. Ne chỉ thảo vào chữ thế ne chỉ qua cái chân nhiều mò cái many times ne yo chỉ tao ne khó breakthrough or ne tông cảm được. The khó in God's world of how He does things is better to sacrifice, better to sacrifice na shan lai tao. betili tao the shanju pli. And you will need to pray and fast to get your spiritual breakthrough. Dashi, you must understand. You must understand that Satan doesn't want you to receive your spiritual breakthrough. Dan zin yung chi sa ka ne mo ying trong the ne shan ju pli te trong the ne sa king cheng. Yelling the dan zin yung yo wo chua ya yi po cha ya ka ne cho tao. Satan wants to keep you down. If you just sit around and do nothing, you will get nothing and you will see nothing. The demonic knows and all hell will do what it takes to stop your spiritual breakthrough. Ka ta ta yo tàu ka cho công ka ta ta yo mua yên trong the shan chu pli trong the ka cha kinh tranh dan zi yin bao lin da ni yo wo chua ya ka cha tao. And that's what they did with Daniel. Remember? Tu di chu de tia thao nu ka thaw wa chu ba chu de no ka te lu thaw la. Ta shi tao nan go I nu de dan zi yung chen ta ko gu chen de dan zi yung xin dao shi duo shou yin dan du. And ma ka yang or yo tu chief prince the ga di chun de yo tao la ba gu. And even for Daniel, that happened to him. And ni sa dia bei tu chi mo ken jing bao li Daniel. Yelling the da haya yo wo chua ya ka bei ta tao bei ta ka mong or va ju bu du bei ka bei ta tao bei her spiritual blessing la shi mo ying za ge mo ying de shan ju pli. Ni ka jong tu bao de China to lu bao li gu wa scooter xin zhao la shi che xin zhao. And when that happened, I was on the ground, 6 broken ribs, my collarbone was broken, my scapular bone was broken, and my upper left lung had collapsed. And you got strangers like Gilin de la Deche, and they came out to help me, and they dialed 911, and within 2 to 3 minutes, ambulance, and so it's like that. You can't expect it for God to answer you right away. But let me tell you what, when you pray and fast and you really seek after God, He's going to answer your prayers. And He is going to always be on time. So when you fast and pray, you're saying there's nothing on this earth that can help you except God. Bé khé đó vợ chứ chỉ mua lên tiền nhau để tay là để chỉ mua ý nhau không để tay là yo bao tờ cũ cho yo có tí lên đầu sự. That's why bé thấy li cái cha yo mỏ thiệt thọ vợ chứ. Rồi lại bé dial 911 đó vợ chứ cũ mua ý emergency cũ ní cái ba cũ đó chỉ mua lên tiền nhau để tay nó yo bao tờ cũ. Nhưng mà đó sometimes sư hư là sư ba chứ tao này some certain situations as well. So sometimes này tao thọ vợ chứ tao này tụi cái này tao to pray. And if you're going to pray and fast, you need to fast the whole time. Sometimes they will get your money, get shot out here. Well, Mondo ya ta you get you hot, you quit la, you get it jewel. What you knew more get low, ne jazzy to you. You do tell what you go your more pain, no, no more. She chill day that she was so on no so you jula. You talk about you watch in to you. That she have ne sack ne tao ka or what you put on in down again. Many times you have to be faithful to what you said, you have to pray and you have to fast and you have to keep your word. And so pray and fast until what you day you. Just in closing, what we've learned from Daniel's life about how to receive his spiritual breakthrough. Just because you pray and fast doesn't necessarily mean you're going to receive your spiritual breakthrough. It's that she let you talk about you. It's how talk about you that she let you walk in your mom. That she many times you are thought walking your mouth here, you thought talk about you. And that's how many of you will receive your spiritual breakthrough, Lead Danielle. And so, as our church is on this 21 day of prayer and fasting starting today, we are expecting from God a spiritual breakthrough for our church. Có vật chữ ba bê có bên dễ kì, vật chữ ba bê có bên mua yên trong the shanju pli tia, trong the bê cho kinh chênh. And that's why they pray, they pay fast. Có bên đã refocus, bên tu kênh trong vật chữ. And that's how we should start our new year. Let us start and get right with God. And that's how we should start the new year. And so, you need all three of these in Daniel's life. Never give up on God when you are praying and fasting. But always on his time, not your time. Daniel never gave up on God for 21 days. And God came through and answered his prayer. Continue to talk to God. Continue to pray to God. Don't just fast and not pray. If you're fasting, you need to spend time with God and you need to find a spot to pray. And you need to continue to fast the whole time. Pray and fast the whole time. And oftentimes we need to pray and fast until we receive our spiritual breakthrough. Prayer and fasting is a spiritual discipline. Spiritual discipline ka you lo trong the shanju pli thiên ka you lo trong the you talking jing. Ni you ka you bong pound. Tashi ni kumo ni ka physical benefit. Pray, fast, you're fasting and praying for the wrong reasons. Work out. Healthy, right? Go jogging, exercise, lift weights. Pray and fast so that you can receive your spiritual breakthrough. And it is done in secret. Le tu bao de le wa ke jia mo de ta wa chu bei cha wa yin cheng shong lin de ya ga wa ke jia mo de ka ta wa chu ta lu xia you want to keep it a secret so ke to le tu unless you really have to ya le jia you no mo la shi you mu do yi kha event le mo no and ya mo da you no ji dao la shi you yin wa pray the fast de la ke you kindly hide to person or jayun da de thoughtina luina paper jeng la shi ku agi jayama and ku yo not to roma and ta ne ja lu si putia and thi za ke da to ku ke ka khe na to la si ke la yin ta tao li na okay that she ya chi mo te ya ni na ne ke keep it a secret pray the fast and the khe lu tu to you what you start share that's when you can share. That while you're fasting and praying, keep it a secret. Come on to you. Fasting, got big focus, gonna fulfill our calling, bring us back to God. Refocus Lu Neng bây giờ cảnh tranh trâu đồ vật chữ thiên bring pay back đồ vật chữ and the nu na lu ý thì ti chua pay pi lợ and so we hope and pray that next year cũng share thiên pay work on our game and ya visitors pay your phone you online and ha sa công đồ pay or the pay feel free to do it at home and join us in our 21 days of prayer and fasting. And we end Saturday. That's when we will break fast. But better break fast on your own. Break fast with your own family. And so God bless our church as we fast and pray for the next 21 days. And as he bring together, share, black, and so to our new Friday for the next 3 weeks, online, And so as I can initiate to join as well. And so they set up to then ke mali announce to on Facebook to send a link to initiate. So to what you from come on today, ya be go share. Let's pray. Let us pray. Be go share to what you okay. 发觉我个叫做侬呐，我个叫背景正多个做路的多 worship streaming online，我个叫的话就个节目录制呢，都被多给的，但我个叫的做被信息 online 是了，个因着被鸟的个tun主不的หู鸟的被错度安正主耶稣那个被是的因么个tun主不鸟被个tun主不因鸟个。giờ này sẽ bé một họ tư là chỉ có hình trò bé giờ bé một số các lúc tuổi trẻ vì mua cam mò là bé tuổi sinh viên online là chỉ có tư dùng share cái là giờ các phòng các mong trò bé chân chân thì bé cho khoa thì bé cho phong yêu ở share online trò bé thì chúng ta bé thọ trò chua tu và nhau bé bận chân thì lựa bận chân thì cho họ kỳ cam mò COVID còn chua cho tư rồi là họ tự recover là chỉ cho chuyện recover là chỉ cho và nếu họ tàu cá mò sẽ vào chữ we pray healing đó là vào chữ thì thọ có tuần chụp đi một mua tê cá mò không phải có chua lỡ tờ họ là lúc chạy một vào chữ có lẽ dòng ta to recover quickly có lẽ dòng ta to vào chữ chữ mới tu mua tên mẹ là lý vào chữ và cái châu cái thọ vào chữ đó tiêu cho và nếu họ nhớ để vào chữ có nếu nó có lúc xua có hôn này cá là vào là chế có hôn này cá tua chơi vào chữ có hôn này cá tua sai bé online để họ có lưu chua lên số tua blo tua bông cá là có lưu có chua thì cái hình thức cho ấy là để vào chữ của thọ đồ chua tua tiêu nữa họ bông đen được có em thọ có hôn được có là chua có vào chữ để họ có lưu bé chua lên số tua ấy tôi có cho vào chữ đó lưu share nó em thọ có phong cái món đó chua lên số tua ở bé ở nhà cái cho mình nhỏ ấy của thọ tên được chữ số lượng bé ở trong cơn gạo. Amen. And we'll see you guys next week. Bây giờ chúng ta bảo để sẽ về tổ sinh chi tổ tổ chế là chỉ online là chỉ tổ bây giờ tôi cho bây giờ bữa bây thả tổ lý trả này cái bây mà lý announce tổ này on Facebook. And so and God bless you. Thank you for watching and streaming online with us. Thọ vật phong công một today. God bless you.
Của con cha chú có tu kê cứ con na nu không khứ lưu cho cú